somewhere
Start a
else.
club near the base where there'll be plenty
Yeah,
of.
he could run the E Club on base.
But yeah, again, this is just off the top of the dome. I mean, I'm sure there'd be plenty of problems with it because his ego ain't gonna let him follow no woman anywhere. I don't even
He was
care
always
how
like,
much
"I'm gonna buy you a house,
I'm gonna
bruh.
do this. He
You ain't
just
got
seemed very
nothing.
chauvinistic.
He
Very
ain't got nothing
chauvinistic.
talking about I'm gonna buy you a house." She showed him a house, and he's like, "I can't afford that."
Y'all are really breaking down these lyrics from
See,
Darnell
that's what I'm
Jones up in the
saying.
chat.
Soul
But listen,
Matrix, man.
one of the things y'all don't know, and maybe because there's one, if you can find it, I'm not even gonna put the link in the chat, but there is one video that we uploaded to the channel of, I don't know how long ago, was it a couple years?
Couple years.
Because we just have too many channels to manage effectively, all of them. But you're making us think that we need to go back. The channel name is Soul Matrix.
We have a theme song.
We have a theme. I know I was singing that song. I was singing that theme song and everything. It's all ready, but it's just, look, we're two people trying to make this happen, and it's just very difficult.
And we do have a video that we didn't put up where we're debating Whitney Houston versus Mariah Carey.
Yeah. So listen, if y'all want to vote, should we put a video up on Soul Matrix? Let us know. And if y'all want to see it, comment in the chat, comment in the comments if you're watching later, and tell us. But and the video is live. The first video we did is live, actually. But the channel name is Soul Matrix, and if you see purple and white, then you'll know that that's the correct channel. So back to Mia. I didn't say this in the beginning, but now I feel like we could just call this section, because you said it. Mia is a damn fool.
Yeah,
that's what we call Mia at the end of it all. Okay, so Kason Brown says he better go be a Navy hubby or get smoked.
Basically, that's what happened.
Because, but see, here's the problem with somebody crazy like Brandi. Brandi is coming for the mama and the sister too. Everybody got to leave.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody got to leave.
They can't leave, and the mama ain't leaving. So.
The mama, listen, that she's tied to that spot. That's what the house that her husband bought her. They ain't going nowhere. But, so he would have to worry about his mother. But I think Darnell would still leave, and maybe. But do you think, okay, aside from our momentary, tryst off to fan fiction land, do you think in real world, the way the movie ended, do you think that their relationship lasted? Or was this just, she taught me about love, and then eventually he goes back to his ways, or not?
I think maybe he go back in his way, but this is one of those traumatic events. He might turn his life around and he start going to church and stuff. Because we didn't these movies in this era, we didn't really get a lot of that. But I think that's one of those situations like, man, she almost took me out. Let's go home, go down here on Sunday.
He say, meet me at the altar in your white dress.
We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it.
I'm telling you.
Might as well. But yeah, I don't know if they work. Only if he really just had this moment where he realized. But see, they ended the movie right there, right? Where he's just like, yeah, I've been doing all this to all these people and I've changed. Look what could happen. And I'm tired of risking my family's life, right? And all
maybe that might be the one thing to get his activities inbound.
Because he brought it to his mama's house.
Yeah.
But even still, he was talking trash when she showed up at the mama's house. Like, you don't know how risky this is? She told you what she done to her husband. So I don't know. This guy, I don't know if it works.
Bree Beauty asks, did they ever catch Brandi? That lady knows where everybody lives. Yeah, they caught her. She got arrested, and then she was out at the end, though. So I don't know if she was out on bond or if they did, we didn't have enough evidence. I don't know. But she was arrested and released, or maybe temporarily, maybe permanently.
Oh, yeah, so.
Yes, but the chat is basically saying that Darnell seemed like I'm saying Darnell, the character. I'm thinking of the Darnell Jones song. But anyway, Darnell, he wasn't really changed. He was eventually gonna go back to his old ways.
Yeah, maybe.
But Brie Beauty says some people get scared straight, but I think he would be bored living that mundane life after a while.
Is it really mundane though? it's only mundane compared to what he was doing before. That don't mean all the other aspects of his life aren't there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he could still be involved in clubs and stuff, and maybe that's excitement. I don't know, but these movies, they don't really show what the characters are into. It's just like when you get a character, all we know is all he does is women, which is probably true, right? Women and
Mm-hmm.
club, maybe.
Well, that's the beauty, I think, of maybe TV or these series, right? Or even a limited series is where you really can develop who these people are. You really can show how they changed. Like, I mean, if you take one of the most massive series we've ever seen, um, like Grey's Anatomy with, I don't know, what did they have, like 20 seasons at this point? We saw the differences in the characters who remained for as long as they remained, how they changed over time and stuff. But, unfortunately, a film just doesn't really give you that opportunity to really flesh everything out, especially when you have multiple characters you're trying to develop.
Yeah.
And the question is, do you try to develop everybody a little bit or one person a whole lot and then other people are just mysteries? I don't know. I don't know how they come to the conclusion about that when they write these films.
Yeah. So
But I don't think that Darnell changes. I think he's the same, but I think that she knows this.
yeah. So does Mia ruin her relationship with Peaches?
Nah.
Well, by going with Darnell, who she hates, it's kind of like you're with
That's her
some.
cousin. That's family though.
It
They
don't
gonna love
matter
you
though.
anyway.
It's just like, but you can spend less time with the person after that, right?
Well, she ain't. Well, okay, maybe not ruin, right? But Peaches is not going to be around Darnell like
Yeah,
that much.
and if y'all
so,
together like that, then
That's a good question. That is a really good question because, yeah, I mean, think about it in real life scenarios. It just it impacts the relationship. Anytime, number one, you get in a relationship, it's going to impact your other relationships if you've been
yeah,
spending most of your time with that person. But I, maybe Peaches could have just been happy for her if she sees she's happy. But the problem is, it's not going to be long term. And then what's going to happen that first time when Darnell messes up and she goes
yeah,
back to Peaches, who she probably vents to, like somebody in the chat said, I agree with,
yeah.
and
But
then is it I told you so? Is it like, girl, come on, or is it like we gonna go ride on him? Where is he at?
yeah, and somebody also mentioned how you can ruin a if you get into the romantic relationship with the person who you've been knowing for so long. Then if it don't work out, then you ruin that relationship too, that friendship.
So part of the urban fiction book that I told y'all that I was listening to had this dynamic, and the issue in that book was they were like, oh, we're going to pursue other things because we need to quote unquote just be friends. But the reality is that they were never just friends. And at times, would be sleeping with each other and stuff. And even that relationship alone impacted their ability to be able to bond appropriately with other people. So that, to me, I just think that if it gets, I think you never fully have what you could have if you don't pursue the
Yeah.
fullest relationship with the person, and or if you
What all goes wrong in relationships though?
I think the biggest thing is just maybe people not recognizing how many things are temporary and how many things don't matter as much as they feel like they matter in the moment, and what is
Yeah.
really important.
Because it's like, okay, this person was my friend for 25 years, then we're inevitably close, and that's just the implication of this whole thing, right? They're super close, they know each other well and all this. So then, dang, what the hell is going wrong? That ruins it,
Yeah.
right?
And
Because with your regular friendship, just sort of in those same sort of ways too.
mhm. But I mean, that's probably happens a lot. And then there are some boundaries that happen in romantic relationships that wouldn't, or spousal
Yeah,
relationships that don't happen, right? Because like if your friend is bad with money, okay, maybe they
yeah,
ask you to borrow money all the time and eventually you say no. But if your husband or your wife is bad with money and they bouncing checks, see, we talked
yeah,
about this when we talked about Crooklyn last week. If that's the dynamic, then that's different. It's different to impact that. Or like we saw with Crooklyn, where, the wife was bearing a very heavy load and the husband seemed like, I'm standing on principle. And, he was oblivious to the load that she was carrying or seeming not to
yeah.
care as much about the load.
But why does
So,
that end everything, right? It could be like, okay, we aren't meant to be having a home together, but it's just like we should never talk to each other ever again and hate each other.
Oh, okay.
You know
I see
what I'm
you're
saying? Like,
so why
what?
can't people? What goes so wrong that you can't deal with the person anymore?
Yeah, it's yeah,
Mm.
very weird, but okay.
Yeah, I that's a really good question. Probably the bitterness over the
Yeah,
loss.
and then as I don't even know where it's from, but it's like, oh, I wasted my time
Yeah,
for
the
some
bitterness
reason.
over
Like,
the
wait,
loss of time, over the
you
loss of
spent all that
money,
time. What you
over what
mean?
was invested that didn't come to fruition the way you wanted.
Yeah.
You know.